Hi, second grade. Today is Monday, May 11th, and I want to show you my shirt first of all. This was given to the teachers by the PTC. So big shout out to the PTC. They do great work for our school, and I really appreciate all that they do. It says, dedicated teacher making a difference, even from a distance. And you see who's on the shirt? Sir Nevlin. Wasn't that a nice gift? That really made my day when I received it. So all the teachers at Nevlin are still really trying hard to make a difference, even though it's from a distance. And you can keep working hard, and that makes a difference too, because then you keep learning, and we work together to make distance learning as best as it can be. So today we have a new matrix. It is week 7. And I have it right here. And it says that today we are going to read Scholastic News again. You'll notice we kind of have a pattern. We often do Scholastic News on Mondays and Fridays now. And we're going to read the one called The World's Most Dangerous Cat. So you might want to go get that now. If you need to pause the video, go ahead. And then we're going to complete the activity to go with, the activity page to go with the magazine. So, just like I showed you last time, remember how great it is to have online resources to use. So I'm going to show this again. By now you probably know how to log on to the Scholastic News resources. And your parents should have the password that came to them through Remind. Hopefully by now you've written it down. You will use it several times, so make sure you have that written down. And I'm looking at today's magazine, and the first thing I notice is the cutest little sweet kitty on the front. And then I read the title and I get really confused because it says, "This is the world's most dangerous cat." Now, I bet as a reader, you have a question right away. I bet your question is just like mine. How could this little cat be the world's most dangerous cat? So today you get to read to find out. The words at the bottom say, "It may look cute, but this black-footed cat is a fierce hunter. It is great at catching animals to eat, but it needs our help." So as a reader, I have another question. How does this cat need our help? What can I do to help? So let's preview the magazine together. I see, remember the title is "This is the World's Most Dangerous Cat." The headline is "Cute but Deadly." Ooh. I see the subheadings: "Cute Little Kitty," "Cats in Danger," "Scientists are helping." What other text features do you notice? I notice pictures and captions. And remember how we've had a sidebar before? Well, this time they put some interesting text at the bottom. So I'm going to call that a bottom bar. So this cat is called a black-footed cat. And we read that the black-footed cat is a great hunter, but it's in danger. Scientists want to help before it's too late. So as you read, you are to think about how scientists are trying to help the black-footed cat. Don't forget to pay close attention to the pictures and read all the captions as well. When you finish the magazine, I want you to do the back. And remember, if you went to the online resources, there's a video that you can start with, and there's more explanation about vocabulary words, and there's always a game there too. So after you do the back, I want you to go to Seesaw, because I have made a Seesaw activity for each day of reading, and I want you to go to the one that says 5-11, and it will say, "This is the world's most dangerous cat." And that's where you go and click Add Response. And then you can take a picture of your work, because remember, I want you to do the activity page too. That's what it says on your matrix. And you have 2 sides to do. So 3 pages altogether by the time you do the back and both sides of your activity page. And I would love to see a picture of those. Please put them on Seesaw. And now it's time to do math. We will begin math today by first looking at the work you did at the end of last week. So number 12, this is how your line plot should look. For number 13. For number 14, it says a tricycle has 3 wheels, a bike has 2 wheels. How many wheels are there on 4 tricycles and 3 bikes? So I drew circles to represent the tricycles and X's to represent their wheels. Then I drew rectangles to represent the 3 bikes and X's again to represent the wheels. If you count up all the wheels, you'll have a total of 18 wheels. And the text practice question, your answer should have been 16. If you go to the other side, Mrs. Mickelson made a little mistake when she was doing her paper, but we all make mistakes, right? I accidentally put the bar graph here and the picture graph here, but it's supposed to be the other way around. So your bar graph should be down here, and your picture graph should be up there. So it was too late. I couldn't, after I used the crayons, it was too late for me to erase it. So just make sure you have your bar graph down there, your picture graph up here, and that's how they should look. I drew a shape of a banana for my bananas. I kind of drew a shape of an apple to represent my apples, and circles for oranges. When you analyze the data, how many people like apples or bananas? You would add up 5 plus 4 and you get 9. And here's your tally chart. And now, 2nd grade, we are all done with our chapter about analyzing data and making different kinds of graphs. And now we are going to begin a new chapter in math, and it is all about telling time. And I'm going to begin by reading this story to you called Clocks and More Clocks. It's a fun story. So I thought we will read for math today. Here's a man named Mr. Higgins. One day, Mr. Higgins found a clock in the attic. It looked very splendid standing there. How do I know if it's correct, he thought. So you know what he does? He goes out and buys another clock, which he placed in the bedroom. "3:00, said Mr. Higgins. I'll see if the other clock is right. So do you think they will match? He ran all the way up to the attic, but the clock said 1 minute past 3. How do I know which one is right, he thought. So he went out and bought another. Which he placed in the kitchen. 10 minutes to 4. I'll check the others. He ran up to the attic. The attic clock said 8 minutes to 4. He ran down to the bedroom. The bedroom clock said 7 minutes to 4. I still don't know which one is right, he thought. So he went out and bought another Now, do you have an idea what's happening here? Think about it a little bit. When she placed in the hall, 20 minutes past 4, he said, and ran up to the attic. The attic clock said 23 minutes past 4. He ran down to the kitchen. The kitchen clock said 25 minutes past 4. He ran up to the bedroom. The bedroom clock said 26 minutes past 4. This is no good at all, thought Mr. Higgins. Second grade. Do you have it figured out? Do you know what's happening? And he went to the clockmaker. My hall clock says 20 minutes past 4. My attic clock says 23 minutes past 4. My kitchen clock says 25 minutes past 4. My bedroom clock says 26 minutes past 4, and I don't know which one is right, said Mr. Higgins. So there are the men walking. So the clockmaker went to the house to look at the clocks. The hall clock said 5 o'clock. There's nothing wrong with this clock, said the clockmaker. Look. Do you see what the clockmaker has? He has a watch called a pocket watch. He can slip that in his pocket. The kitchen clock said 1 minute past 5. There, shouted Mr. Higgins. Your watch said 5 o'clock. But it is 1 minute past now, said the clockmaker. Look. The bedroom clock said 2 minutes past 5. Absolutely correct, said the clockmaker. Look. Do you have it figured out now, second grade? The attic clock said 3 minutes past 5. There's nothing wrong with this clock either, said the clockmaker. Look. What a wonderful watch, said Mr. Higgins. And he went out and bought one. And since he bought his watch, all the clocks have been right. So did the watch make the clocks right? No. Did you figure it out, second grade? Did you figure it out that it was taking Mr. Higgins some time to run from one room to another? And that's why his clocks all said a different time. I like that book. It's a great way to introduce the concepts that we will be doing next. We will be practicing telling time for the next few weeks. And if you look at your matrix today, it says we are going to do the Am I Ready? My math words, my vocabulary cards. And all of those can be found in your math packet. Let's look at the Am I Ready page first. The Am I Ready page is page 585. We didn't have that page number on the matrix. So find your math packet, find page 585, and this is a chance to see if you're ready for the chapter. So you're going to do this on your own today, and then tomorrow I will go through the answers with you. You can look at the digital clock and circle the time. You're going to fill in the missing numbers. I think you could probably do that with your eyes closed. It's so easy. Here you're to look for the pattern. Find the numbers missing. This says Kira is walking home from school. Circle the time of day for the activity. Would that be morning, afternoon, or evening? And then you do the back also, my math words. You have 3 words, afternoon, evening, and morning. And I want you to write 1 sentence in each of these squares. You're going to write about an activity you do for each time of the day. And you're going to use the word morning, afternoon, or evening in each sentence. So this first box should have the word morning in it. For example, I would say, in the morning I drink my cup of coffee. And then afternoon, I would say, in the afternoon I make videos for my students. And in the evening, I would say, in the evening I take Weston for a walk. So I want you to do that. I'd like you to write a complete sentence with a capital letter and a period. And we will go over this tomorrow. If you want to take a picture of that and show it to me on Seesaw, you could do that. And the next thing we're going to do together is go through your vocabulary cards. So you should get out your vocabulary cards. You can cut them apart like I did. We'll practice reading some of these words and understanding what they mean. Here's the first one. Hour hand. The hour hand is the short hand on the clock. Many times on clocks, when we are using them in the classroom to help teach you, they have different colors, and the red hand is always the hour hand. The shorter hand on a clock that tells the hour is the hour hand. Hour points to the hour on the digital clock. This says 3 o'clock. A unit to measure time. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Digital clock. Now what they've done is they've crossed out this clock because that is not a digital clock. This is a digital clock. And the definition is a clock that uses only numbers to show time. Another kind of clock is called an analog clock. They cross out the digital clock, so you notice this is the analog clock. Remember, long minute hand, short hour hand. A clock that has an hour hand and a minute hand is an analog clock. Minute hand. That's the one they highlighted in yellow, the long minute hand. Do you see how it goes right through the number 12? In a few lessons, you will be having to draw the hour hand and the minute hand, and I'm going to tell you to go right through the number when you draw the minute hand. The longer hand on a clock that tells the number of minutes is the minute hand. Half hour. Half hours, halfway around the clock. This says 5:30. Half past 5 is 5:30. 1/2 hour is 30 minutes, sometimes called half past. Quarter hour. Quarter hour. You can see how they showed you quarter hour, where it's 12:15, and here it's 1:45. They wrote quarter till 1. You can say it either way. A quarter hour is 15 minutes, sometimes called quarter past or quarter till. 4 quarter hours, ooh, excuse me. My iPad fell. 4 quarter hours equals 1 hour. Minute. 1 minute is 60 seconds. 1 minute is 60 seconds. A unit to measure time. Each tick mark on an analog clock. 1 minute equals 60 seconds. 60 minutes equals 1 hour. And when they say 1 tick mark, they're talking about those tiny, tiny little marks that you see. Those are each representing 1 minute. And then we have AM and PM. And you might wonder what it stands for. AM is the hours from midnight until noon. And AM actually stands for anti-meridian. Anti-meridian. That's a Latin word. Now, you don't have to memorize anti-meridian. Here's what I often tell students. I always say, always morning. And then we have PM. PM in Latin actually means post-meridium. Post-meridium. It's the hours from noon until midnight. So the way I remember it, I always say past morning. I think that's easier than saying post-meridium in Latin. So I think of it as AM, always morning, PM, past morning. So your job for today for math, remember, is to do the Am I Ready side and the My Math words. We'll go over those answers tomorrow. And maybe today you can walk around your house and count how many clocks you have in your house and see what different kinds of clocks you have. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.